All right, folks. All right, let's begin. All right, so sorry, on the wrong page. Okay, let's start off with yesterday and just do a quick review of what was moving. Okay. So first off, one of the biggest movers yesterday was not one that I personally pointed out, although it was in the watch list, but I'll explain why in a second. I didn't point it out. So this is CC or CJJD. Okay, that's the symbol. Okay, so this stock had a very good run yesterday, but at the open it gapped higher and just went flat. So didn't really pay much attention to it for a while, and then hold for 1 second. Hmm. My stream does not look right. Okay, well anyway, I was looking at the stream. I just thought it looked a little low quality, but anyway. So this stock didn't move at first; it went flat, and then around um, 2 o'clock Eastern or so, it started to break out. So by the time that I came back, which would have been right here, it already made its move. So basically, made a move about an hour before I started the afternoon part of the coaching room. But good move. Some of you mentioned that you did catch it, so that one was really good. Now, I didn't see any specific headline for that, but that is definitely the type of move we're looking for. Like I said, the earlier stage, it didn't really do enough to get our attention, but it is one of the stocks that was already on our list to begin with. It just wasn't one that I was specifically looking at market open. So there we have it. Okay. Next up, we had rent. Now, rent, a few of you pointed out this one. A few of you in the coaching room have pointed this out as a opportunity. Now, this is something, of course, that we have been following for the last couple of days, and on the 12th, starting here at the open, 1 second, starting right there, start to move up, had a decent run up, and then came back down. But over the day, for the most part, it went up. So once we got to the end of the run here, some of you still had been in and out of it. So this was another good mover yesterday. But none of these were the biggest mover. For those of you who were here, we all know what the biggest mover of all was, or at least the one that most of you were in, and that's HARP. So HARP was one of the pre-market opportunities that we identified, and a large percentage of you were in that. A few of you actually said that this was responsible for your largest performance day in the program. So congratulations on that, and glad we were able to locate that in the pre-market for you folks. So basically this one just started off a little slow at first, which I did mention, but as soon as it started to do this, that was exactly when I mentioned that this is starting to break out. So if you're going to get in, do it now. And basically here it got halted and it reopened. So a few of you had never been through a stock halt before, so this was your first time. No big deal. I basically gave you a rundown of what was happening, and well, you were able to handle it. So when it reopened higher. It only went down to the high of the previous bar, and then moved back up. So in short, this was a very good opportunity, and a number of you were able to take advantage of it. In fact, I think most of you were. Then we had a second run here. Now, I did mention to be very careful with the next, after that halt at the first one. So if you didn't do this, that's fine. Some of you did. You just jumped in and out. I did not specifically recommend this because, as I mentioned, it looks, in hindsight, it looks fairly clear, but while it was actually trading, it was very erratic. You had very sudden moves, and it would stop, then it would go. So, wasn't the easiest one to exploit after the first move. So, therefore, if you didn't do anything after that, no problem. But still, very nice move. Took it from about 149 up to about 289. Right. So it wasn't the biggest percentage gainer. Actually, CJJD was the biggest percentage gainer, but that started to move late in the day. We also saw some good luck with Bivi, BIVI. This is another stock. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but BioV Incorporated. This stock had a nice move up. A number of you were in that. This is a stock that we've been watching, of course, recently for some good moves. So glad a lot of you were able to take advantage of that. Now this was a bigger stock, Microsoft. I did mention this one. Oh wow, it's really up pre-market. There's some news on that too. But this really big move up in the open, and it was different than the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ yesterday was not performing this well, at least not the beginning of the day. It did the later part. So this move here at the end of the day was more in line with the rest of the market for Microsoft. So at the beginning of the day, it was moving very sharply of its own accord. There was some news about that, which I have to look up. I forgot what it was, but nevertheless, not too bad. Let's see. There's also some news. Let's see. Microsoft. I'm not sure. There's a few news items that I see here, but I'm not sure which one has any impact that would get the stock up as much as it is pre-market. Right now, Microsoft is trading at 262.18, which is a full $10 higher than where it closed yesterday. It actually peaked at 265 in the pre-market. So there are a few headlines that I see. One is about Wall Street bets. One is about let me see. There's just a bunch of random stuff. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not seeing here it is. Microsoft aims to resolve European Union antitrust concerns about its business practices, spurred by Salesforce. And yeah, I do. Something about Salesforce, but that's it. Cell check battery monitoring system launches on Microsoft's Azure cloud computing. Good morning, Chris. Okay, so there's like a bunch of things. I'm not sure if any of these in particular are that important, but whatever the case may be. The antitrust thing, I guess, is important, but the other part, batteries, etc., I'm not sure if that's really a big deal, for the time being, but whatever the case, Microsoft is up. I will put it on the radar today because it's moving so much, but I'm not going to say that it'll keep moving up. I'll just say that it's worth taking a look at. Okay. Yep, this is a hunting shirt, although I admit I'm not a hunter. My dad does stuff like that, but I'm not really. Well, he lives out in the woods, so that's his thing. Let's see. Coupa Software. I had that on the radar, but this company was bought out. So I didn't catch the actual headline correct in the pre-market. So I saw this was up. Obviously, this has been on our list, but the actual reason is that they were bought out. So this stock basically is dead in the water to us because as long as it's been purchased by as long as it's been purchased by another company, there's no possibility of us getting anything out of this. I mean, we could trade it, but if you ever want to trade something neutral, there it is. so, so yeah, that too. That too, Bill. So, in short, this this one's dead to us. So I took it off the list for that reason. All right. So for HARP, I don't see any movement in HARP pre-market. Most of the ones that were big movers yesterday don't have anything going on right now. Wait a minute. HTGM, was that? Oh yeah, okay. This one I should go over. I almost forgot. HTGM. Okay, so this one was a very, very, very interesting yesterday. So let me just go over briefly what happened. Okay, first things first. Here's your market depth, level 2 or whatever you want to call it, order book, as I usually call it. So here in the order book, I don't know why this border keeps getting, sorry, one second. There we go. Okay. So here in the order book, you have a listing of the size of trades that are, currently happening, right? And you have the time and sales here, and you have the limit orders. Well, during the day, HTGM at one point right up, not here, but it was actually there might have been some up here too, but right about here, okay, right about there, at 173 exactly. Yes, EH was good as well. I forgot. I should go over that too. I almost forgot about EH. So right at the price 173 and right on this bar, at the time there was someone posting, I would estimate about 500,000 shares in total to sell on different exchanges. So all at once. So when I saw that, this is what I've mentioned to you guys, that when you're looking at the order book, the reason why it's so important is that when you see something like that, it has a impact immediately on the market. You can't just go through an order that size very easily. An order that's 10,000 shares doesn't take that long to get through, assuming you have a decent amount of volume. So maybe you have 30,000 shares per bar, or 300,000 shares per bar, or something like that. But when you have a 500,000 share order, it's going to take a lot of buying to get through. Now, if the order's there at all, probably the person who put it there is assuming there's a possibility that people can get through it. So maybe that's why they put it there, or alternatively, they may have put that order there to actually hold the market down. And in this case, it appears it was the latter reason, that they were trying to hold the market down. Why? We don't know. Sometimes larger players will do that so they can force people to sell into their bids, which means that either they're buying to accumulate a position, or they're buying to liquidate a short, one or the other. So perhaps they were short selling all the way up, and they put the really big order there to stop the market, and then they just have their bids all the way back down. That's one possibility. The other possibility is that they put that large offer there to stop the market from going up, force the market to go down into their bids to buy, and then maybe they want to go up. I can't know. No one can know. which one it is, because the bids are just going to be there anyway. You don't know who they are. There's no way of knowing who's who. That's the whole point of the market. It's anonymous, right? But the point is that there's definitely a tactic being played there, and the tactic was clearly designed to stop the market from going up. So when it returned, not surprisingly, it went to the exact same place. However, in this bar, it appears, and I don't know this for sure because I wasn't watching it at the time it happened, that's after I moved away from the screen, but at that time, we had about 5.8 million shares that traded on that bar. And that 5.8 million shares, of course, you have buying and selling going on there, but perhaps that order was taken out, but that was just enough to exhaust the upward momentum, and then boom, it comes down again. So whatever the case may be, this stock was suppressed from going up. It's now trading at about 88 cents. It closed yesterday at 103, but I do expect, although we'll see, that this stock will be something that's moving sometime later. In other words, I wouldn't be surprised if a few days from now, or even today perhaps, we see this one moving. It's already trading 1.4 million shares, so not quite as many as it was trading yesterday. So maybe it's not going to be as big today, but we'll see. So I'm still going to keep this on the radar, not because I know that it's going to go up. In this case, you definitely want to look at the buy side, not the sell side. For Microsoft, you can go either direction, but for this, only play the buy side. So, in short, HTGM is on the radar again. I'm just going to keep an eye on it. I don't know if it's going to do anything important today or not. It is trading enough volume, but we still want to, we don't want to assume anything. Okay, maybe that one gets stuck. All right, finally, EH, the last one that was a big mover yesterday. Now, EH is not a stock, EHang is not a stock that I usually have on our list, but it has come up on our attention quite a few times before. But yesterday, man, was this thing on a move. Now, someone said it was due to some sort of, I think one of you, either Bill or one of you, said that it was due to some sort of report in China. I didn't see it, so I don't know. But whatever the case may be, if you look at the stock, this was a very clean move up. So in the middle of the day, this was after I'd already departed for the middle of the session, you did have a nice clean consolidation and a resumption of the trend right there. So if any of you want to try it again, there it was. Now, I didn't have any targets or anything like that for this one, since it was so far outside of the expectations for that day that, it blew expectations away by a mile. So this one, you only had your second go, but it was a nice one. Couldn't miss it, right? So nice second go there. Take a small risk. Maybe it works out. It did. This one here, this is the last gasp move, which is kind of typical. You usually get these extreme moves. In the video, which, by the way, I forgot to upload to YouTube, in the video I recorded yesterday about the VWAP strategy, as you guys call it, I mentioned that you get these big pops, and then usually that's where you're probably going to get your big pullbacks. But whatever the case may be, this is textbook. We're moving right up the channel very consistently. A lot of you did spot this one early, so good job on that. So congratulations. This is actually one of the ones that the number you found, which I did not point out myself. So good. That proves that you guys are picking up very well. All right, now EH today, I have it on my list now, but I don't see it showing up on any of the top lists. I think it's slightly down, so we'll see what happens after the bell. But it might be a mover, so since it moved so much yesterday, we'll just put it on the radar to watch today, since that is clearly a very large move. So we'll keep that one on the radar as well. All right. Next up, let's look at what's moving now in the pre-market. So currently, on the list of stocks, ACMR is up 27%, but only trading 176,000 shares. Currently, it's at 11 bid. Um, Now, I don't like the volume, but it's already on our list. So if it keeps moving at the open, we'll see it. I'm not going to add this to the radar yet because for the open because it's a little too slow in the volume. So it doesn't mean it won't do anything at the open. It just means that it's not active enough for me to want to watch it at the opening bell. All right, mRNA, Moderna currently trading nearly 1 million shares, presently up 10%. Looks like some news about cancer vaccine reduces deaths. So it has a few bits of news, so probably worth looking at. I'll add that to our radar. Not a cheap stock, so not the easiest one for you guys to make a good percentage gain on, but it's there, so we'll just keep it in mind. Moderna, Mara also. I'll look up NCPL in just a second. Mara also looking okay. Looks like it's up a little bit. I'm not going to put this on the radar. I mean, it is trading some good volume. I don't think it's moving enough that we need to particularly watch it, but it is up sharply. Let's see. Mara's up because of no specific reason I can find. So it's up. I don't know why, but we'll see. I might add that later. For now, I'll leave it alone. But it's up about 8%, which is not bad, but given the price point, I don't know. Let's see. NCPL was brought up here. All right, so NCPL currently at $2.99. Yep, I see that on. Actually, let me see if that's on a pre-market scan. It should be. Yep, it is. So I'll be getting to that in a second, but might as well go over it now. So NCPL does look active pre-market. Net capital shares are trading higher after the company reported Q2 financial results. Okay. That's it. So I'll put that one on the list. Is that already? I don't know if that's already on our list, but I just added it. NCPL. Good find there. That does show up on one of my pre-market scans, so you got to it before I did. So I'll put that on the radar for today. And for the opening bell, guys, I'm just looking for the things that look the most interesting. There's always other stocks that are up or whatever, but trying to find the ones that are looking the most attractive. Okay, Billy, what are you doing? 24 something. All right, Billy is up again pre-market. This one has been pretty consistent on that. So since it does have a tendency to run, if it jumps in the pre-market, I will add that to our list today. Billy is on the list again. All right. AMD 74. All right, AMD is up. China falls. I don't know. I don't see what the explanation is for AMD being up. Looks a lot like Microsoft. This must be for some other reason. Sorry, this must be economic, why it's up that much. Because Microsoft looks exactly the same. Oh, it must be CPI numbers are down. Okay. So CPI numbers are down, which means that the inflation seems to be easing. I'll say based on the gas, based on the gas stations, it does look like things are easing because I've noticed a trend in gas prices right up. There's a gas station about a block and a half north of me, and at one of the major intersections, and I noticed that the gas price has been consistently going down. It's getting close to $4, which in Chicago is a miracle. So we'll see what happens there. But so inflation is easing. So that means that the market thinks that the Fed will reduce its pace of hikes. So I don't think we have to watch AMD. I have Microsoft on there already, but I don't think we'll have to watch both. But they're both doing the same thing. So Microsoft did have a lot more movement yesterday, so that one seems to be more interesting. Rent, I'll skip that. It's not trading enough volume. Let me just skip through here. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing. Apple, that's normal. PDD, you did mention that, Chris. 89, maybe. PDD, let me just see something. PDD, PDD, just keep an eye on it. I'm not going to put it on the hot list for the open, but it may move. Bed Bath & Beyond, not doing enough. I don't see not a lot going on here. It might be moving today, Bed Bath & Beyond, but I think it'll be up a little more if it really wants to move today. See, Cisco was up. So it looks like a lot of these stocks I think are just up because of the economics, the economic reports. Like I said, that's a bullish report because it does incentivize the Fed to slow down, since it looks like what they're doing is working. PXMD is only slightly up. I don't know what's going on there, but it does trade. It's trading a lot of volume, which is unusual. So let me see. It did spike pre-market. I don't know what the news is. It was up yesterday. I won't put it on the watch list for the open for right now, since it's not moving as far as I would want. But PXMD is active, so we probably should take a look at that. And also doing a quick roll through. Let me just look at all the stocks that are on my other list. A lot of stocks under $1 are up. Open Door also looks like it's trying to move. Open is the symbol OPEN. I'm not going to add it to our list, but just an honorable mention. Most of these stocks I'm seeing look like they're only moving up because of the overall market. Coinbase is actually moving up pretty fast, but they all look about the same in the pre-market. They're just up as a group. So in general, pre-market, we've got some bullishness because of that economic report. So the markets probably are going to be fairly bullish. The inflation numbers came in below expectations, so that is a good sign, I guess. So we'll see. SoFi is always active. It's just the way it is. I usually don't pay any attention to it, to be honest. I actually took that off our list, if I remember correctly. Okay. All right, guys. So I got to jump over to the coaching room. If anyone's not in the coaching room as a member, be sure to join. I'm going to go over exactly what our objectives will be in just a second. We'll go from there. All right. All right, folks. YouTube, have a great day. I'll see you guys in the coaching room in a second. And YouTube, I'll see everyone tomorrow morning. Have a good one.